Let's start with your name.
My name is Andrea Tognon. I do architecture and design.
Andrea Tognon, your father owned a furniture factory. How did going to this factory, influence you as a child and in your work now?
Understand slowly, but even without realizing, the process involved in the making of things. So, and with a clear rule in the process. And so makes this obscure idea of what is making things and produce things something almost playful.
Has that experience influenced you as an architect?
Well, make me always feel very comfortable in technical situation, in construction site. And I always knew what was going on because was situation very familiar for me. I started to go in construction site with my father when I was probably 5, something like that. Now we'll be out of law, but at that time, I was going with him very often. Yeah.
Did you always want to be an architect?
Well, besides the time I want to be an astronaut, that was when I was really young. Then after that, yes, I always want to be an architect.
What does architecture mean for you?
Architecture is my language. It's the language that I found to talk to the people that I'm involved with. It's my social way to be.
In this factory in Milan, where you live and work, what does this space bring to you?
Well, first of all, bring space. It means have plenty of space, of empty space to fill with the ideas, you confront always with the space you are in through your design process. When you're in an enormous space, you completely change your way to think about things. And that's definitely something that was very helpful for me because you connect with a kind of a freedom and with the fact that really you can, try different. Yeah, probably that's something connect with the space.
What is your design process?
The first thing is to make a void, like to build a little bit of emptiness, and that is just trying to see from this emptiness what come up, like some idea, and then there is right after a moment of feeling like loading of quantities of things, images, sounds, is a kind of an overload after this emptiness, and that's definitely something that I always do. And can be even connected with some traveling or some, and then there is a third phase that is when all those things probably mix together. They start to be, something stay. It's like if you fill a room of things and then you start to empty the room, and in the end, what is left is just what basically you're going to use in the project probably.
You've worked frequently with the highest end fashion and luxury brands. Why do you think these brands want to work with you? What makes that attraction?
I think that I'm believing in a world full of talented people, and I'm always very happy when I have the chance to be selected as a designer and architect. Probably. I don't know. It's very difficult to understand what people see in you and in your work. That's really hard to say. From my perspective, my main goal is to understand the person I have in front and trying to give the answer that is proper for me. Of course, there is my part, but definitely there is a lot coming from who I am from. Probably is one of the reasons why the most of my projects they're quite different from each other because, it's, there is a lot of exchange, let's say. Yeah.
You recently designed and donated furniture for the streets of Milan. What was the reason for this?
Well, the Milan project was, I was asked to design an installation. There was an idea of a temporary installation, and the way it was in a public space, no, and the way people react to this installation was one of the very, I don't know, I was very happy about. Everybody was those big vases with big trees by the Dome of Milan, and everybody was using those vases as a seats. Everybody was, making this installation very alive, and that's probably for people that does design. It's one of the real, the big pleasure to see how people use your design. And that's make me think that maybe the best thing was just to leave to the city this piece. Yeah, that's why.
Do you believe there's such a thing as perfection in architecture?
It's definitely not my goal. I don't believe. It's not even my point. Point is not perfection. Point actually, the most of the time, the most exciting things that I see in design and in architecture, they have a degree of unexpectedness that definitely is not connected with perfection. You can say a stone can be perfect even if it's not a sphere. What is perfection is a misunderstanding many times.
Did you ever worry about your projects becoming dated, looking old?
That's a good question because I definitely try in what I'm doing to make something that stay in time, say over time. But on the other hand, the way we watch things is a kind of a circle. If you think in everything, it's like you can say in art, in fashion, definitely there is a circle. But it's us. It's not the time. It's the way we watch things that change. A very good design piece, no, it will never be dated. It will be watched in a certain way or in another, depending from many reasons. But no, a good piece stays.
When you design furniture, do you think of it as micro architecture or something totally different?
You can say, yeah, a table can be definitely an architectural piece. And the other way around, a building is almost a design object. It's not specific. I don't separate those things. No.
Carlo Scarpa said, "If the architecture is any good, a person who looks and listens will feel its good effects without noticing."
Mm-hmm.
How would you respond to this statement? Does that sound right?
Sometimes you notice when you're in a Carlo Scarpa, actually often you notice, and you start to be actually mesmerized by all those things that he designed. So I think he was playing with this in a kind of interesting way. It was kind of a mirroring, distorting this reality that is, he was trying to be, come si dice, modest. That thing he was not in reality. So